Hello, everyone. This third day of our Congress is dedicated to the celebration of life. The dignity to human life is a concept that allows us to experience the essence of being respected by the others, and also the experience of having a sense of value, not for any other reason other than just being human in nature. It was only in the 20th century that the dignity to human life was recognized as a good, a social good that has to be protected. Earlier in the past, this dignity was reserved only to specific groups of having resources, power, or titles. It was in 1948, 10th of December, in Paris, when the UN General Assembly said that human dignity is something solely tied to the humanity, nothing to do with class, race, gender, religion, abilities, or any other factor other than being human. Then the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, adopted in 1966, brought the things even to a higher level of understanding and protection, saying, among others, that the ideal of free human beings enjoying civil and political freedom and freedom from fear and want can only be achieved if conditions are created whereby everyone may enjoy his civil and political rights as well as his economic, social, and cultural rights, etc., etc. All of us need to take some time of our life and see what is going on. Why dignity is a universal right? How much dignity do we experience every day? How much dignity do we recognize on a national, personal, and universal level? And then we should consider, we as human beings, what should we bear in mind? One thing that comes to my mind is this principle, do no harm, or have a sense of clarity that allows us to see who the other human being is, know ourselves, know the environment in which we are and in which we are in an interaction, then take the responsibility. Dignity asks for guts. As parents, we also need to take these things into account and cultivate or create environments free from fear, free from stress, free from toxicity. There are a lot of things we can do. A lot of speakers will speak about how parents can become the architects of the next generation. We, as parents, need to understand that babies unborn, newborn, and then growing up are sentient beings with full human rights that are entitled to be treated exactly the same way as everybody else. Then educators need to understand that the children, they have been trusted by their parents in their care, and since they are the substitutes of parents for a quite a long period of time, these educators need to undertake the responsibility that lies with the parents and lies with each human being. Plus, they should also be aware that every child that comes to school may have 99.9% a prenatal or perinatal birth trauma or early life trauma. And educators should be aware or trained in pre-perinatal early life trauma-sensitive education, which allows the educator and the school environment to become an acceptance womb, an accepting womb, not reactivating the toxicity of the womb, of the early life experience of the child, which was responsible for the early trauma. Then, after they get the training and they need to be sensitive to that and willing to do that, they should include all generations. Generation 1, for example, grandparents, Generation 2, parents, and Generation 3, the children, all in their classes, and provide things, lessons, classes in their curricula. Which also takes us to the tertiary education, which should reorganize their own curricula and standards of teaching. Scientists should reflect on experimenting and research when it comes to technology, honoring progress, yes, but also honoring the dignity of human beings, no matter what their form is. And think again, as concerns their motives, methodologies, and tools they use when experimenting within the fields of cloning, embryonic stem cell research, ectogenesis, CRISPR, genetics, etc., as well as issues like euthanasia, death penalty, etc., etc. Politicians finally needed to realize that there is no peace in a nation, in the world, unless people are conceived, gestated, born, and raised in fear-free environments and stress-free atmospheres. It is part of their job as politicians who secure the well-being of the citizens to take care that and see that there is equality, there are enough resources for subsistence, for life, that there is a quality education, quality health provision for everybody, and it's high time they stop being briefed, reading reports of 1 minute, but focus on the findings of the many disciplines working together, and make sure that families are supported, respected, empowered from conception, during pregnancy, at birth, and in the early years of life, and above all, introduce prenatal care services for all, preparation for parenthood and parenthood classes for all, and primordial health advancement programs to work with the well-being of the unborn. The third day of this Congress is going to focus on such subjects. Thank you for being with us and enjoy our excellent speakers.